welcome to the Raf and Raf Rant. I'm Raf.
And I'm Raf. We're Raf.
Raf Farisco of the Far From Vesuvius podcast. That's Ralph Pizarro of Calcio Napoli Club. Just rant about Napoli.
Let's go for it.
We're going to rant. We're going to match report. We're going to talk about the games. We're going to talk about topics. You leave comments and we'll read your comments out. Question.
All right. Quick stats.
Yes. Throw the stats up there. On to a nice little segment that we're going to call the Beast of the Match.
Who is beasting it for the Napoli team? Let's see.
Follow us on Facebook, Rafael Rispo, Ralph Pizarro, Twitter at RafaNapoli83. That's me.
CNC USA 26.
I want some feedback to the show. What do you guys want to see? What do you want to see more or less of? This is going to be a show for you guys too. I want a lot of comments.
We want to rant about something. Let us know if you want us to rant about something.
I promise you, we're not going to agree on everything all the time.
We won't.
We're going to yell at each other every now and then.
Come and rant. This is what it's for. We want to give you a space to let loose so you can do it here.
Well, that's going to do it, Ralph. Were we boring enough for you?
I don't know. I think we were great.
Let's get to it.
Madonna Carmen, aiutici tu.
And benvenuti tifosi napolitani to an edition of the Raf and Raf Rant. I'm your host today, just me flying solo today, Rafa Rispo. Pizarro is away doing some stuff, some prep for some other work that he has to do, so he's taking the night off, recharging the batteries. We all know how that is. We gotta recharge the batteries every now and then. So yeah, man. So guys, I'm here today. Napoli lose the Scudetto. Napoli win against Torino. Let's put it that way. Let's start there. Napoli win against Torino 1-0. A pretty decent match to watch. I mean, the first half was it was a pretty fun first half in my opinion. I thought it had its action. Napoli did pretty well, I think, to attack and try, and there was some good movement in the midfield. But second half, Napoli gets it done with Fabian Ruiz in the it was like in the 76th minute or so. Insigne misses a penalty, or has it saved anyway. And then a couple of pretty decent chances were wasted, but the job got done. Napoli, big win because Juventus lose to Genoa. That weekend, I believe it was that weekend, or was it? No, it was the day before. It was on Friday because they play Coppa Italia on Wednesday. So Saturday morning, Napoli capitalize and take the initiative to go up 4 points on them with 6 left. So one more win, and Napoli will confirm third place. But with Milan's come from behind win over Verona, that puts the nail in the coffin officially. Boom. On Napoli's Scudetto chances. It is over. Napoli will not be winning the Scudetto. I know a lot of you are going to say that, we lost the Scudetto on this game, and we lost the Scudetto on that game. It was Inter, it was Roma, it was Fiorentina, it was Empoli, it was this. I get it, but, you guys all know me and my positivity. Excuse me, had to get my coffee. Me and my positivity. I had to, keep the faith, keep the hope alive for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I had to. I want to say really quick, I want to shout the chat out. This is something that Ralph Biz does. He's the intro guy. He knows what to do. But thank you very much for everybody who is in the chat with me today. I see Pete Scala reminding me that birds aren't real. Thank you very much, Peter. Thank you. You've mentioned that a few times. We get it. Birds aren't real. Dan D is in the house. Frank Pila, thank you for joining. He says it was Empoli. Maybe it was Empoli, Scala, I'm gonna get to talk to this to you about this. He chimes in with Pensigne. I want to talk about that, but this is an open forum, guys. I'm going to feed off of your energy. I'm going to feed off your comments and comment on things. And when I see something that I'm interested in, I'll stop and we'll talk about it. Sean Sullivan comes in with the Washington Nationals avatar. Thanks, buddy. Big Mets fan here. Congrats on your World Series a couple years ago, but I think it's our time, buddy. But he says we did it to ourselves, which is the most frustrating part. It is very frustrating. We did do it to ourselves. It's a funny story that you should mention that, Sean, because you know what I'll do? I'll leave your comment up because that's what we're talking about. We did it to ourselves. I have a client who comes into the barbershop. He's a big Roma fan, big Roma fan. And his son is actually a Napoli fan. He comes in, he wears his Napoli gear. His dad brings him in every now and then. Sometimes it's mother, but his dad brings him in, and we talk about Serie A all the time. His dad really likes Napoli, liked our chances all year. He said, we got it, we got this. And he came in today, and he was like, you guys did it to yourselves. You know that, right? And, I congratulated him on making the Europa Conference League final as they play Feyenoord. I'm going to fix this for a minute. Sorry, guys. Just didn't get a chance to fix myself there. So he said, you did it. You did it to yourselves. You threw it away. You had it and you threw it away, which I mean, listen, we had it. We had first place a couple times. We had the real chance to win the Scudetto this season. I do believe that. And I do, believe that objectives change in the middle of the season, depending on what you guys are, what your team is doing, depending on how they're playing, depending on what happens throughout the course of the season. Objectives should change. Now, we did throw it away. We had it. We were at least in it. If we had won those two games, we'd still be in it right now. And it's frustrating. It really is. It's frustrating. So thank you for pointing that out, Sean. We do. He also says the Mets are legit. Thank you very much. They are legit. We'll see, though. I've seen 20 wins before in the first month. So we'll see. New owner. I get it, but we'll see. Just scrolling back up to these comments. I want to also thank Daniel D for being in here. Zeno is in here hanging out with us. Thank you, guys. And also want to take a minute to thank Pasquale's in here. Carmelo Frazzetto's in here. Thank you. I want to take a minute to thank everybody listening to us on the Far From Vesuvius network and on our own podcast channel. We're still trying to get Apple in there. I'm not sure what's going on. And once we do, we can leave the Far From Vesuvius network and be our own exclusive thing. Or we just stay on the Far From Vesuvius network. Who knows? We'll see. Next season, we're going to be doing some stuff. So we'll see what's going on. But thank you anyway. However you're listening to us, watching us, on live now, on the replay later, in the car, on the podcast, however, taking a jog, taking a bike ride, taking a, ride in the car with the kids, thank you again very much, very much. Positive vibes only from Daniel D. It's true. It was over versus Milan. Well, Peter, you knew that. I don't think it was over versus Milan. I mean, obviously Milan took first place and they've run away with it. Inter, I think, took first and Milan overtook them again at one point. But, that Milan game, yeah, it was a sign of things to come, but I don't think it was over versus Milan. I think there were still a lot of chances that we could have taken if we did our job in other games later, So to say it was over versus Milan is a little too much. But yeah, that's my opinion, guys. You know what I mean? He also comes in and goes, Raf, Raf, I don't tell you who else. If I don't tell you for the birds. Okay, cool. Frank Pila comes in and goes, there will be no Insigne slander on my part as I will be watching him live from July to November. I don't have any ill will towards Insigne. I think Insigne is gonna go down as one of the top Napoli players of all time, and that's not really much of an opinion. Yeah, there are certain situations where he could have done a little better. There's certain things, aspects as a captain he could have handled a little better. But I mean, statistically, I think he's one of the best Napoli players of all times. I won't say the best; that's a little too much. But obviously, we all know who the best is. But you know what I mean. In the ADL era, not the best, but I mean solid. I mean, we talk about the misses, the penalty kicks. Joe Fischetti, he tweeted out earlier that like he's only missed 4 penalties this season. Before the season, it wasn't that much more than that. It was maybe like 5 total before this season. And I say only, but Napoli had a lot of penalties this year, and he scored 10 goals. Most of them were from penalties, 8 from penalties. And I don't think that that's an accurate reason to slander him this season because of his penalty taking. I don't think so. In every single penalty that he missed, we ended up winning the game. So it's not like in this season, it's not like, his penalty misses were vital to cost us 3 points. They never cost us 3 points. Insigne still has 9 assists. 10 goals, 9 assists is not too shabby for someone who's leaving, for someone who's older now. I mean, he's still one of the top number producers in the team. And, I don't think he deserves maybe a little bit of the blame, and he deserves maybe a little bit of, a calling out. But at the same time, he's gone. You know what I mean? It's over. He's gone. So, yeah, I agree. The Insigne slander, I mean, especially since you'll be watching him, but, listen, so Carmelo is in, like I said. Did we ever lose by more than 1 goal in Serie A? This season, that's a good question. I'll have to check. I don't think we did. There's a lot of games where I thought, we lost 3-1, 3. I think we ended up losing 3-2 a lot. But no, I mean, listen, we kept the goal differential tight too. That's another thing. Pasquale comes in and goes, team looks lost. Team looks lost. Back Inter. That's when I had a feeling it wasn't going to happen. When we drew with Inter or when we lost with Inter, either one. Antonio Caranante is in, and he says time for a complete overhaul this summer. We can definitely expect some changes. That's for sure. I do believe that Napoli will be selling Fabian, or Zielinski, or both. But there's heavy rumor for Fabian to Barcelona. If Fabian can join Kessie at Barcelona, and there's a lot of rumor that Nigel de Jong will be leaving Barcelona as well. So, Napoli might have to. Barcelona will heavily pursue Fabian, and I think he's going to go. I do. I think he'll go to Barcelona. So there will be some new. And you know what? I don't have names, guys. I don't have names for you. I don't know who might be coming in to, fill the spots. Daniel D comes in. We lost the Scudetto in games that we failed to get 3 points, such as Empoli, Roma, Sassuolo. All these games, we had leads and we blew them. Sure. I mean, the Sassuolo one. See, okay, so the Sassuolo game, that we drew 2-2. That came after the Lazio win at the death by Fabian. We were still in the race. So I don't know, man. Like, I get it. I get that those are points that we had to obtain to stay relevant in the race. But we were still in it. Like, I think really what happened was these recent games, the recent Roma game, the recent Empoli game. You might want maybe even the Fiorentina game. I don't know. I think even after the Fiorentina game, things fell the way they should have for us, and we were still kind of in it. If we won that game against Roma, if we hold on to beat Roma and to beat Empoli back to back, we're still in the conversation. I mean, I didn't do the numbers. Napoli are how many points are they out? They're out. What is it? Let's see. Let's look at the table really quick. I have it right here. Okay, so Napoli are 7 points behind Milan. If if they beat Roma, that's 2 more, so that's 75, and if they beat Empoli, that's 78. They're tied with Inter, 2 points out with 2 games left. They're still in it. They're not, you know, obviously Milan would have to lose and Inter would have to lose too, but you know, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but they were still in the conversation. You know what I mean? There's still there's still hope, you know. Um for me, it was those 2 games. It was the Roma game and it was the Empoli game, and the recent ones. You know, Empoli, the only team to beat us twice in Serie A this year, too. Yeah, that's insane. Empoli. Enzo Esposito comes in 46. Enzo Esposito 46 comes in. Bro, Napoli Twitter was so toxic today. My man was getting. Listen, I'm not. All right, I'm not trying to talk about Napoli Twitter, Enzo. Thank you for coming in and listening and watching. I'm really not trying to talk about Napoli Twitter. I've had it up to here with Napoli Twitter. Everyone, and I just don't want to talk about that, man. Like I'm choosing to stop with the negativity of everyone. I'm not targeting anyone. I'm talking about everyone, and I won't name any names. But from top to bottom, from old to new, from this group to that group, I'm targeting everyone. Just stop it. Stop it. It's annoying. And I don't care about the Twitter bullshit. I don't care about it. I care about hitting back at Juventini calling me fat, telling me I'm gonna have diabetes next year. That's what I care about. I care about successfully reporting those assholes and knocking them off of Twitter, because I've done it, and it's worked on a couple of them. That's what I care about. You know what I'm saying? I care about bantering back and forth with Juventini and fans of other teams, friendly, and in a way where I'm not going to lose, man. I don't lose. I'm sorry. I don't know about I don't lose on Twitter because I do it laughing with a smile. Trust me. But when you start coming at my weight, and again, I can handle my own, man. Like I'm not one of these guys that get really sensitive about things on Twitter. I don't. But there are people out there that do. And people that say the things that they've been saying to me, you say that to the wrong person, you're gonna cause some real serious damage, man. You idiots out there making fun of people's weights and people's everything, way of life and things like that. You need to chill. You really do. You need to chill out, because one of these days you're gonna find out some of those guys that you're messing with, they took it the wrong way and they did something bad, and that's not good. Not good. That's why I'm reporting these guys. Not because I can't handle it. I can handle anything, man. Anything. I got 3 kids, man. I got trust me, I can handle anything. But just chill with all the Twitter shit. Okay, everyone. Everybody who can hear me, please stop to think before you get to be it gets to be too much. All right. And I don't care about the personal digs that one gives to the other. I don't care about it's all gotta stop. All of it. 100%. But anyway, let's get to some more comments, and I want to say, I think that the potential for Champions League next season is good. I've seen a lot of people comment about how Premier League teams now. I guess today there was a Juventus Twitter guy who posted and tagged me and said, "Hey, what's this I'm hearing about Osimhen to Leicester City?" Listen, if Leicester City is willing to pay 100 million, then yeah, okay, fine. But also, Osimhen has been craving Champions League football, and there's no chance in hell that Osimhen is going to Leicester freaking City. That's not even going to be in Europe next year. There's no chance in hell. Not even a little bit. It's not even a 1%. We got to get Oma back on here. Oma has all the details. I heard Arsenal, I heard Barcelona, I heard all these teams, And listen, if they make the Champions League, then I might be a little worried about them. They have the money to do it, but I don't think it's happening. I really don't. I think he wants to play at least a season in the Champions League with Napoli. I'm not sure ADL is ready to sell him yet. He wants to see what he can do in the Champions League. You just have to be a little bit more a little bit more smarter about these things. People come out with these BS transfer rumors like it's a FIFA game. You know what I'm saying? It's not everything is FIFA. Just chill. It's got to make sense too. You know what I mean? If it makes sense, it makes sense. One of my buddies at the barber shop was like, "Oh, yo, what about Osimhen to Arsenal?" And I'm like, "Listen, dude, does it make sense? Is Arsenal going to really spend 100 mil?" I have an Arsenal friend who comes in and said, "Listen, that's not happening because Arsenal's not paying 100 million euro. Like their threshold for that is about 60, 70. They're not going to 100." And he's an Arsenal supporter. So from an Arsenal supporter, I'd rather listen to them. So I don't think anybody has to worry about Osimhen. If it makes sense, it makes sense. Also, Koulibaly, come on. Is Koulibaly? Everybody says Koulibaly's going to Barcelona too. Koulibaly is going to be our next captain. What do you mean Barcelona? He's not going anywhere. This guy, I mean, yeah, listen, did you hear Michele on the latest In the Shadow of Vesuvio podcast? He said that Koulibaly, after the match against the 6-1 against Sassuolo, where the ultras, that there were, I last week mistakenly said that there were no ultras at the game. They were just in protest. They were a lot quieter, but they gave it to the team even after the win. And Anguissa, Koulibaly, and Osimhen all went to the curva, and Anguissa and Osimhen just like kind of looked and left, and Koulibaly gave them a death stare because they were protesting, booing, whistling, and he was like, really? Is that how it's going to be? And I think what I gather from that is that he is taking in all of this and he's going to use it to his advantage as the captain of this club. I'm telling you right now, Koulibaly being the captain of this club is, I think, what this club needs, is what has been missing. It's been real leadership. And then this is not a dig at Insigne, but I do think Koulibaly will be a better captain than Insigne. I think Mertens is a better captain too, so he'll be vice captain. And I think sky's the limits when Koulibaly is the captain, because he commands respect from everybody and he gets it. And he commands respect from players on other teams too. And he's a boss, bro. He's a legit boss. So this guy, now that I think about it right now as I speak, that might be exactly what Napoli needs, is a captain with some fucking balls, a boss captain, someone who's going to lead this team the right way, the way it needs to be. I also do believe that Spalletti in charge is never going to get us to Scudetto, but that's another thing. I hope he proves me wrong. He did what he had sought out for him. He had to get us to the Champions League. He got us to the Champions League. Maybe he gets us to a Scudetto. Who knows? But I don't have high hopes with him at the helm. But maybe with Koulibaly as captain, possibly. I'm going to try to catch up on some of these comments, guys. Let's see here. Oh, Frank wants some tips on growing your hair. Here's the biggest tip you can ever get for growing your hair. Ready? Don't cut it. Don't cut it. Let it go. Let's see. Do you think new Georgian kid can replace Insigne, Daniel D? I think from what I've seen and what I've heard, he's the Georgian Messi. Everybody wants to throw that Messi tag, like Elmas was a Macedonian Messi. But yeah, I think he could do a suitable job. You know what I'd rather see? This might be a hot take. I'd rather see Lozano take that position. I also think he's gone though. That's a story for possible another day. I do think he's gone. There's a lot of heavy interest from Wolves, but I also read now that Arsenal are looking at him, and that might be a move that happens. Lozano, I think Lozano wants to play in the Champions League, and I think Arsenal might be a decent fit for him. I think that might happen. Either way, I think he's out the door. But But I'd rather see Lozano on the left and Politano on the right, or whoever else comes in on the right. And I think that's a good idea, if in my opinion. But we'll see. This Georgian kid. I mean, listen, Napoli's scouting, and we've said it many times on the show. Napoli's scouting is second to none. These guys know what they're doing. I don't ever really doubt them much when it comes to players with a lot of potential. There are some moves that they make that don't pan out, but I mean, I don't think anyone really thinks those moves will pan out when it happens. I really do believe that this is a good move. The Jordan kid. Enzo asks where I got the hat. I got it on Napoli's Amazon account, so check that out. It's a New Era hat. It's an official hat. They sold it. I have two others. You've seen me wear them. I have a light blue, Napoli blue with the script writing Napoli, baseball size, baseball type, and then I have the white one with the logo that Raf Biz has too. So check it out on Napoli's Amazon. If you need a link, Enzo, if you can't find it, I'll try to find it for you and I can send it to you. Just DM me and let me know. Dan D goes, you should try and get Victor on the show, dude. Not impossible, I don't think. It could happen. Could happen. But and he's not busy with the World Cup this summer, so we'll see. You know, in the off season anyway. Frank Pila goes, Arsenal didn't want to buy Zielinski for 14 million when he was 16. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're not going to overspend. They're not going to overspend. And right now, listen, I value Osimhen, but right this second, I don't think he's 100 mil. I think he'll be 100 mil. I don't think he's 100 mil yet. I think he's dropped just a bit, and this is just on, for me, based on his, fitness that, is really not an issue. It's just accidents that happen and stuff like that. It's not like he's unfit to play. I just think he gets hurt a lot, for things that happen on the pitch. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, here's another good point. Before I get to that, let me take a look. Sean saying he's the type of capitano we need. Frank saying that he should have been the captain instead of Insigne. We're talking about he meaning Koulibaly. Carmelo says 4 years too late, possibly meaning Koulibaly is 4 years too late. But no, I think it's not too late. Oh, Raf Biz just got home from his stuff. Ciao, bello. How you doing, Ralphie Biz? Thanks for joining today. A little open forum. Why not? Just kind of feeding off the chat, the beautiful chat that's here with us today. Pasquale, if Pioli could do it, Spalletti can. I feel weird even typing that. Dude, that's a great point. The Scudetto being won by Pioli this season does mean that Spalletti can do it. And, I just feel like he's got to change something in his tactics. It's same old, man. Every single time he manages a team that has potential to win the Scudetto, they falter. And I don't know whether it's, lack of wing play or he doesn't play his like bandiere, like Totti at Roma, or, and now, Mertens is playing a lot now, but where was he before? You know what I mean? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe, hopefully, And Ralph Biz says Lozano wants Spain. That's a possibility. Maybe he goes to Barcelona. And Pasquale says if someone wants to spend money on Chucky, let him go. Daniel says Napoli's not big enough for Chucky. I don't know about that. Dan D goes, Zardbin is underrated too. This is where I wanted to kind of get at. Before I do that, Pasquale is right. Scouting top notch, medical is terrible. We've talked about that. But Zardbin can be underrated too. Yes. So Zardbin playing in Serie B. Gaetano, Gianluca Gaetano just gained promotion with Cremonese. So next year, Lecce and Cremonese have been promoted to Serie A. We'll see them next season. And then the playoffs happen. And yeah, Gaetano got Cremonese to Serie A. So maybe Gaetano has to come in. Maybe Zarbin has to come in. Maybe it is time. Maybe it is time to play the kids, guys. Maybe it is. Maybe we sell, we get one or two good big players, and then these kids come in. Who knows? It would be something different that De Laurentiis would do, but we'll see. Biz comes in and says we can't just completely turn over our team, a few pieces here and there, but we can't just replace the whole front line and expect anything. No, you're 100% right, and I think that is what I tried to reiterate. Like there are pieces that need to be filled for sure. Now listen, everyone, everybody had asked for this change in the left back situation. But now that Mario Rui has come out and said that he'd like to try something new, maybe he does get replaced. Maybe we do have to try to find a new left back. Maybe we do have to bring some of the kids up. Maybe we do have to get one or two pieces. Midfield, possibly. Maybe right wing, maybe. Um, Maybe a backup center back that's suitable. I mean, not that Juan Jesus did bad, but one of these guys get hurt. We need someone that's going to be as good as these two. Let's not forget, man, we're in the Champions League. We're getting the Champions League money. We're going to attract players that want to come and play in the Champions League. So what we need to do is try to build a team and a half. We do. We have to. That's just the way it is. That's how you can compete. We have to. That might take some money, fine, but we might have to sell some players off to do that. Fine too. Caranante comes in. Koulibaly as captain is going to give me serious Chiellini vibes, dude. I'm telling you, he will be our Chiellini. Like this guy is he's a freaking monster, and he's a wall. He's a pilastro, and he's a guy to lead us. I'm telling you, he is. Dan DeLeo says the summer will make it or break it. At some point, the kids aren't kids anymore, so play them. Pete says, how many of our youth does ADL loan to Body to try to get them promoted so he can make top dollar on the sale of Body? This is a question for Joe Fischetti, but I do believe Napoli has loaned a couple of younger players to Body, but not very many. The youth team, the Primavera team, is actually fighting off relegation right now, which is sad because they had a really good start to the season, which sucks. It might not mean much with 3 to 5 players who went on loan, did well at their clubs. That's Daniel D. And yes, you're right, 100%. Biz comes back, though, and says to Peter that there is none and took an older, more experienced approach to Body. Possibly. But Primavera do have a few ballers, Daniel D says. Guys, I'm at the end of the comments, so I might just cut this thing short today. 32 minutes on. Let's give a Forza Napoli sempre, because you know what? No matter what happens, we're Napoli, right? We're Napoli fans no matter what. We have to support the club. We have to. I'm one thing I do want to rant about before I go is how I feel about the protesting ultras, and how I have an issue with them raising a flag that says "Amore senza fine," love without end, and then the next thing you know, they're shit. They don't deserve anything. They need to get to work. You know what I mean? You're upset. I'm upset too. That's fine. I don't care about what happened last year. I don't care about the comparisons to this year and last year's teams, because this year is not last year. This year is this year. And this year, we could have done it. We didn't do it. But at the same time, we're so blessed as a team. And nobody really realizes it. Nobody stops to think about how blessed we are. And it just so happens that I've known this and I've realized this myself, but when I had my client today, the Roma fan, in the chair, and he told me exactly what I wanted to hear, and exactly what I've been saying, is how can you fault Aurelio De Laurentiis, and how can you blame him or be upset with him? This guy has brought you from 0 to 13 straight European qualifications, right? And because we were talking about Roma in this final. Roma is in a final. Roma will most likely win the first ever Europa Conference League, which is a third-tier tournament. It was a manufactured tournament that was just created for this season, being the inaugural one. And even though he is so psyched and pumped for this final, because Roma, at the end of the day, are about to win a European trophy. And it's something that no other Italian team has done since the start of our consecutive run of European qualifications. Do you guys understand what that means? Like Inter won the Champions League in 2010, right? 2009-10 was the first year that we qualified for Europe in this 13 consecutive run of qualifications. Since that year, no one has won anything in Europe. So that's a feat, in my opinion. That's an incredible feat. And when you have something like that to hold on to, when you have something like that to look at, in those 13 years, Juventus won 9 straight titles. Guess what? Every season, there were 19 other teams that didn't win the Scudetto. And they were all the same teams because Juventus won every single one of them. So everyone says we should have climbed it. We should have gotten it. We should have been the team. We should have. Well, so maybe should have Roma when they finished in second. So maybe should have Inter when they finished in second. So maybe should have this team, Lazio or Atalanta, when they finished in second. We're the only ones that should have won the Scudetto? I want to win the Scudetto more than anybody in this world. Trust me. But to talk about our team the way you did when you protested against them, sometimes maybe they need to hear it, but other times, you push people away. You're going to push them away. They're not going to want to play here because when amore senza fine, ma solo quando vince. You know what I mean? Perché quando persi, dove sta? Dove vai? Quando persi. You know what I mean? Where are you when we lose? You're protesting. I understand in the manner that we lost is very, very annoying and very down. It's depressing. I get it. But they're still wearing la maglia azzurra. They're not any different from last year. And not for nothing. Not for nothing. But you've taken it out on a bunch of players that left the pitch. Because once they left the pitch, that's when the crap hit the fan and we lost. So don't take it out on Koulibaly. Don't take it out on Mertens. Don't take it out on Insigne. Don't take it out on Fabian. Don't take it out on, Lozano. Take it out on Meret. Take it out on fucking come si chiama? Malqui. Take it out on the players that really cost us the title. Take it out on those fringe players that came in and screwed everything up. Take it out on Spalletti for making bad decisions. Don't take it out on the team. I know that the team is won, and everybody wants to protest against the team because the team is won. Nobody's better than La Maglia. I get it. But they're still wearing La Maglia. No matter what, they're wearing La Maglia. And I don't subscribe for 1 minute. 1 minute, I don't subscribe for 1 minute that this team didn't want to win the Scudetto, that this team didn't care about winning the Scudetto, that ADL doesn't care about winning the Scudetto. I don't subscribe to Spalletti. I don't subscribe for 1 second that that's true. Not 1 second. At all. And you're going to say, okay, well, why didn't ADL come to the locker room after this game or after that game and waited till after Empoli? It's simple. It's because we had to save this season. Because just as easily as we lost that Scudetto, we really could have lost Champions League too. And would you like us to play another season in the Europa League? I said it. You can miss one season of Champions League, maybe two, which is what we did. But you can't miss three. If you miss three, it's a disaster. And now we're in the Champions League. And now we have a new lease on life. We've got the money that's coming in. We've got a change in direction with Insigne leaving. We've got a new captain. It's going to be new. It's going to be new. So everybody, and listen, tell your friends about this. Let them listen. Let them watch. Okay? Send this over to the Ultras. Don't raise that Amore Senza Fine flag if you don't fucking mean it. You understand me? Don't raise that flag unless you mean it. Because in my opinion, those people, they don't care. They don't mean it. Amore Senza Fine when it's convenient to them. We have fans of this team that stuck with this team through the worst of times. Okay? And a handful of you guys in this chat don't even know how that feels. So that's why I take such offense to when people crap all over this team. And that's what I have to say. That's what I have to say. That's my opinion. You could debate my opinion. You could disagree with my opinion. You're free to do that. But that doesn't change the way I feel about this team. Wait, this team. This crest right here. You understand? To me, nothing means more in sport. Nothing. N stands for nothing. Nothing means more to me than this blue and white N on my chest over my heart. Whether we win the Scudetto, whether we get relegated, whether we're in Serie C, whether we're in Serie F. Napoli is my blood and will always be my number one. Whether they go on a 16-game losing streak or they miss out on the Scudetto by 1 point. Whether they're great in Europe, whether they suck in Europe. Guess what? Do you know how jealous I am of Roma right now? Yeah, it's the Conference League. It's funny because people call the Europa League the Mickey Mouse tournament in Europe, like they call the Coppa Italia the Mickey Mouse tournament in Italy. If there's ever a Mickey Mouse tournament, it's the Europa Conference League. But guess what? Roma is in the final. And Roma might be lifting silverware this season. Do you know what I would do to be that team right now in this Conference League final? I'd be gathering Biz and everybody from Tri-State Napoli and anybody who wants to over at Ribalta to watch that match live. That's what I would be doing. And I applaud Roma for getting to a final. And good for them. Good for them. I hope they freaking win. I hope they win it. You know what? I hope they win that tournament. Screw it. They've been in that tournament since the beginning of the season, and they've grinded it out. They lost 6-1 to a team from Norway, and then lost again to the same team. I then had to play them in the knockouts and almost lost to them again. But guess what? They pulled it out, and they did it. And then they beat Leicester City in the semifinal, team that we beat. Good for them. Good for Roma. I'd kill to be in that thing right now. So again, Napoli, we'll see you next year. It's not the end of the season. We still have a job. We have to win one more. We win one more game, we lock up third, and we finish over Juventus. And yes, other fans Twitter, that is a trophy in my heart. That is a trophy to me. You could make fun of me all you want. I don't give a shit. Come on Twitter and find me at Rafa Napoli 83, or find me on the rant at Napoli Rant, or on Far From Vesuvius at Far From Vesuvius. Finishing over Juventus, as much as you don't rate us being a rivalry, and as much as you feel like you have to pull out your wiener for this 36 Scudetti versus 2, I don't really care. To me, that is a win. Finishing over you. You know how many people told me, man, watch, Juve will finish over Napoli. Yeah? Mitteri no gul. Because you're not. You're not. One more win. That's all we need. One more win. Guys, thank you very much for joining the rant. Thank you for listening on the audio. Thank you for listening on Far From Vesuvius. Thank you for watching on our Twitter. Thank you for joining us today, for joining me today. Thanks in the chat, guys. You guys are great in the chat. You are very good. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you. Some parting, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave these parting comments because we do have to cut out. I'm going to read each and every one of these comments. And if there's a question or something that you want to ask me in these comments, I'm going to make sure I reach out to everybody in this YouTube comment section and answer them one by one. Because I see Frank has a few. I see a couple of other people have a few. And I don't want to, keep this going and say goodbye again. So, the 20-minute goodbye has commenced and or has finished anyway. And we'll see you guys next week with Raf Biz back. Hopefully. I think he'll be back. Raf Biz, you're still in here. You'll be back next week, right? Yeah, I think so. But yeah, anyway, ciao everybody and Forza Napoli sempre.